We're almost at the end of Disc 2. We just have my favorite moment in the game left.
What the? Dog on the other side of the door. Making noises. Oh fuck.
I love this moment so much because it's something they never really explored again in Final Fantasy, is having a huge enemy encounter on the overworld map.
Yeah.
And having this thing on the overworld map sells the scale of how large this thing is. Like, this thing towers over Midgar. And you realize, wait, my guys have to go fight that thing? Like,
how do we fight that thing?
As a kid, I was like, oh, shit. How do you fight it? And the way you fight it is poorly.
Throw your sword at it.
Shit. If the three people watching this who aren't myself don't know what we're talking about, go to Oni Cartoons and watch his Final Fantasy VII video because it's amazing.
It's real good.
It's every joke Kurt and I have ever made about Final Fantasy and then some.
So when the pilot levels up, what does that do? Or is
Nothing.
that just for fun?
It's just a funsy background element
I'm
to the story.
up too.
Yeah. Because he starts off real scared. He's like, do you want to go? And your responses actually change as well. To where when he's real scared, your response is like, yes, no.
Yeah.
And then right when he's at like his limit break, like right before you get into the final disc where he's a full-fledged pilot, he's like, you want to go? Like, he's just super confident, and it's actually the inverse is like his confidence is kind of cowing you.
Yeah,
it's like,
nice.
yeah, no. And then you get into disc 3, and he's just like, shall we go? And your option's like yes and no. And now Satchmo's gonna give us a piece of his mind.
Everybody in this world can level up at their job.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna sweep the floor extra good now.
So I like that Satchmo is calling us out on our shit. Where they're worried about spirit. They're trying to save lives, but it's like, how many people do you think died when you blew up those reactors? Like, yeah, saying you're doing it to protect the planet is fine, but the fact is there were just people in there. People around it.
Your parents like, I don't want to hear none of that.
People who died because Shinra dropped a plate on their community trying to get you and your 3 stupid friends.
Yeah, we were young and dumb back then.
3 weeks ago.
I'm still trying to get over how much of a god that made me feel like.
Speaking of leveling up at your jobs, I actually had that conversation with a friend very early in the Marine Corps where it occurred to us that the experience system is basically just a way of representing getting better at your job.
Yeah.
Where, like, obviously you don't gain numerical points as you do it, but, you know, when you start something new, you get much better at it very quickly, but the longer you do it, the longer it takes to get better at it, because, you know, you can only learn so much more, and it's going to take a long time to get there. If you really push yourself and challenge yourself, i.e. fighting a more difficult enemy in a game, or taking on an unusual project at your job, you'll gain that experience faster. But eventually, it's going to balance out again because you're going to gain a new baseline of experience.
Fucking
yeah, you can try ramming into it, but it's just like, what? Stop it.
It just swats you away.
Yeah, basically. And that's another great thing about this, is selling how powerful diamond weapon here actually is. It just swats you away. Also, it looks fucking rad.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously its design is limited on the overworld, just because of overworld limitations. But its design is fucking radical.
It's just cool that they...
It has this huge, like, cape going on, and...
It's like a ray, like a manta ray kind of looking...
Yeah, it has this manta ray shape, which doesn't actually... It gives it kind of a regal appearance.
Yeah.
Like, it has these large royal pauldrons on. And then, obviously, it has that big flowing cape, and it just walks slowly toward Midgar.
Well,
it's just...
You think about how slow something that big would...
Like, this
move.
is... Yeah, how slow that thing would physically move, but, like, this thing is Midgar's reckoning. This is the Earth coming for Midgard for revenge.
Yeah.
This is fucking radical. I love it.
Like
I don't
the
think
planets shat this thing out. Like,
the planet like made all these things when Genova fell, and then didn't have use for them. But now they're awakened again because what happens is they awoke because Sephiroth awoke and became such a threat that it produced these. But Sephiroth's at the center of the planet, and these things are basically autonomous. And they're like, okay, we can't find the actual threat to the planet, but we can sense other threats to the planet, which is basically everything associated with Shinra, which is why the one attacked Junon, and it's why this one's coming from Midgar. You gotta just wait for it to walk up.
Just boots the high wind.
Yeah.
Hunts it off to the left.
Just woo woo woo. Do a quick emergency save here. Just because no matter how many times I play this game, this fight always feels hairy to me. It's just one of those encounters. Also, I have a lot of backup saves for the year of Final Fantasy. Oh, remember how Sabin, I wasn't able to show him suplexing a train?
Yeah.
Guess what, motherfuckers?
Gonna suplex this fucking thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This fucking thing. Look at this thing.
It's real cool.
Look at this motherfucker.
Beat rush. Yeah, go punch it.
Yeah.
That'll do the trick.
Meteor Drive!
Yeah! So dumb! Oh, Tifa, you're the strongest!
You would think the other party members would just be slack-jawed at that moment.
Yeah, like, oh, fuck, let's never piss her off again. It's like these claws, like these, like, jaws for shoulders. It's crazy.
Because those open up, and that's where it really fires off its major volleys.
Yeah, why did the planet make such a cool-looking weapon? Like,
you may as well. Like, why half-ass it? And it is actually immune to most physical attacks. You can also steal a good weapon for Yuffie from it for some reason. Not that I'm going to use Yuffie.
It's just like a chunk off its body.
Yeah.
You just rip off. Oh, this is cool.
Something sharp and hard you can throw.
Hey Yuffie, I got this toenail. Weapon toenail.
Yeah.
Spits at you.
Like,
it hurts.
Diamond weapon is so great they even brought it back for 15. And Kingsglaive, at least. You see flashes of it in the cutscene in 15 itself, but in Kingsglaive, apparently a whole bunch of these things are what destroyed the capital. I don't know why they went to diamond weapon specifically, because weapon is a term that does pop up throughout Final Fantasy. I mean, Ultima weapon and Omega weapon occur periodically. Here they just gave them a narrative hook, but I don't know why they specifically took diamond weapon. Other than that, it's fucking radical.
Just because it's so radical.
It's just so fucking rad.
Because it has a cape.
Look at this rad motherfucker.
If the other weapons had capes, then, you know, maybe they'd have a chance.
Maybe. Yeah, it basically just spits at you.
It would hurt. Something that big just spat at you.
Yeah. At this point, I'm thinking maybe I shouldn't have worn the curse rings. It's fine for most fights because they're over in less than 30 seconds, but once you cross that 30-second threshold, you start to feel the pressure.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Barrett's looking at them like, oh, shit. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh, God.
Yeah. Fortunately, I was able to kill it before it did anything too bad. And it gives you a huge chunk of experience and AP.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. I kept this part in mostly just so you could see all the numbers tick up.
Love that. Is there
Don't
anything
you love that?
feels better?
It's like opening a half dozen loot boxes at once in Overwatch. Like when you're disciplined and save them up, and it's like, yeah. Just when you're able to kill one enemy and gain 2 levels and master a half dozen materia in this game, it feels rad. And here's the thing, we didn't even kill it. We just slowed it down for a minute.
It's like, alright, I see what you guys are up to.
Back to what I was doing.
Cloud's like, oh fuck, we didn't do goddamn.
What's up, Mr. Monster? What are you looking at? Huh? It'd be... Okay, here's what I want. I hate this joke. I'm glad people don't do it anymore, but I love it in this moment. Barrett's like, okay, Mr. Monster, where are you looking at? And the monster looks back, and it looks down, and Barrett has his fingers in the circle.
Oh.
And then Barrett runs up and punches it. And it's like, oh! That's immature.
Owie. And then, well, he goes to punch him, then he flinches, like, 2 for flinching!
Oh, I hate young people and their dumb games.
I feel good about myself because I can punch you.
I can punch my friends after making them look at an arbitrary thing. I abused their trust in me when I told them to look at something in particular.
And now in the future when I ask them for stuff, they're gonna think I'm a dick.
Oh.
So that's what happened. Any friend that pulled that kind of shit, I was like, yeah, you're a dick. I'm not gonna hang out with you.
This is another shot that was used in the trailers a lot. Because, I mean, look at it.
Yeah. Using all that planet juice.
Yeah.
Fire up the planet juice.
Wooly talks about how he was the kid in the playground. He's like, dudes, the game doesn't look like that, you know?
Yeah.
And those kids.
Yeah, but it doesn't look that cool.
Like, I didn't know what to expect when I first got this game, because I had never actually played an RPG. I didn't know what that meant. I saw the trailers, and like, that doesn't look like a game I've ever played.
Yeah.
This looks like a movie. How do you play a movie? And then when I played it, I went, okay, I got this. Because my PlayStation came with a demo disc, which had Final Fantasy VII on it. Which was a rad demo, by the way. And then I immediately got it, and I understood why the cutscenes looked better than the gameplay.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, it made sense to me. Even though I didn't know what pre-rendered cutscene actually meant, I kind of just understood.
Like, they made these parts of the game to really illustrate a certain story beat, and it's cool. And it's also a rad reward. You want to keep playing the game to keep seeing them.
I think that was one of the elements that they brought up in the extra credits episode a few weeks ago about cutscenes in games and how to do them right. It's like, when they're done right, they feel like a reward. They don't feel like a slog that you're just sitting through. It feels like, okay, I've progressed through another milestone. Here's a cutscene.
It's like, can you play this moment? Probably not. All right, then show it in a cutscene.
Again, exactly. That was one of the points that they really hammered. Was like, if it's something you can't do it. Can't do through gameplay. Do it in a cutscene.
That thing was sent to come get Sephiroth and shit. It's just like, alright.
Yeah, this thing was going to ruin Sephiroth's day, but he's at the center of the world. And so it's like, well, I guess I'll just fuck up Midgar.
And just it falling down like that, I imagine, would really send a pretty big shockwave.
Oh, yeah.
Big old air blast, you know?
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that's so large that if it were just topple over like that, the vacuum left behind would be enough to shake the high wind apart.
Blam.
Yeah. Up until this point, you can go to the northern crater, but you'll bump into that energy barrier and be knocked away. But now it's gone. Weapons have been defeated. It was fucking rad. It was so rad.
Sir, it was radical. You won't believe it. I got it on film. I'm gonna be a famous YouTube.
In about, let's see, it's 1997. 8 years.
Run for your lives.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. And he's supposed to survive this?
Yeah, his survival is really stretching it. No, guys, I still had HP. It was fine.
Cloud's super happy that someone died.
Well, at least something died. God, can't get to sleep in the day if I don't kill something. If I can't kill something, or I'm not directly responsible for the death of something, I can't get to sleep. See, now he's super excited. Yeah, let's go. Wait. Everybody, if I end up running for public office in the future, please don't use that sound sample of me saying I can't get to sleep at night unless I'm directly responsible for the death of something.
Or chop it up with a bunch of other stuff, so it's like, I can't get to sleep unless...
At least make it real humorous, like in The Simpsons. They do that one episode where Homer, he basically talks for like 2 hours about candy when he's asked about sexual harassment. and there's a clock behind him, and they chop up all of his bits, so in the background you're seeing the clock hands just jump all over the place. He's like, I love to touch breasts.
Yeah. I love that kind of gag.
Yeah. You would love the early seasons of The Simpsons then. Because back when it was good, they relied on that sort of humor all the time.
What was that cartoon? I think it was on MTV, and it was like Gandhi was a character.
Oh, Clement High.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that on DVD.
There was one episode where they made a gag like that, where someone was running for like class president or something, and he's like, babies or something like.
Yeah.
And it was clearly spaghetti, and he's like, I like to eat babies.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch Clone High.
Yeah. But here's the weird thing. Reeve has been a spy with this whole time. It seems like Scarlet and Heidegger here didn't realize that. And they're only just now about to find out. And now that Rufus is, air quotes, dead, they're basically taking control of Shinra.
Ooh.
They call the mainframe. He starts to do it.
Slaps him. Grabs him by the beard and slaps him.
Listen to me, you Rasputin-looking motherfucker. You call that mainframe, or else I'll call over my mechanical doll body to come beat you up. I'll do it.
His fists are big and soft.
But I'll hit you with a trumpet. So Hojo is taking control over the entire Mako energy mainframe and is trying to feed energy directly to Sephiroth.
One or two Midgars. What's the difference?
It's a weird sentence, which has never made sense to me. I think what he's trying to convey is like because if he keeps doing this, like all of Midgar is going to explode, and that will cost a lot of lives. I think what he's trying to convey is like what difference does it make if we lose one or even two Midgars worth of people?
Yeah.
I think that's what he's trying to concede. Again, that's something that a better localization would take care of. It's like, maybe it makes more sense in the original Japanese just because of how that language works and how once they've established something, they often feel free to just leave it out of future sentences. It's like, once we know what we're talking about, it's just redundant to keep bringing it up.
You big cat.
Yeah.
Sad.
So sad. I think paddles his way over there.
Question mark, question mark. I just imagine two intense looks like, what?
You're busted, Reeve. We somehow know it's you. Well, probably because he's the only member of Shinra's corporate council left. Except Palmer. But we don't know where he's at because he's never going to make an appearance again.
Well, that's a great way to, like, figure out who anyone is. Just kill everyone else that it can't possibly be.
And if the robot you're talking to is still being operated, well...
That's them.
Better not double-cross us now. We've come a long way together. Granted, the betrayal is a hard thing to get over. But after everything else, it seems like you... this far into the adventure, you could give him a bit of trust.
That always happens. That's always a thing in games, too. It's such a trope of, like, I don't know if we can trust you.
Yeah.
Even though you've been alongside us for a long time.
Yeah.
And you haven't done anything bad since that one bad thing you did.
Granted, that bad thing was pretty bad. But it also seems like since then you have plenty of opportunities to double-cross us. Like, you couldn't have double-crossed us earlier at that other stage because you needed us to get to a certain point. But you've had plenty of opportunities since then wherein you could have betrayed us. But you haven't. I don't know. I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, go stab Hojo first.
Oh, it's gonna be so good to stab him. In this moment, Cloud is in this room, but he's invisible. I think... yeah, I think this is the spot that... this is the spot that speedrunners use to skip the entire assault on Midgar. Because you can run out of the room here, and it either loads you in Midgar Tower, outside of this room, or it loads you just before the screen where you go to fight Hojo.
So essentially you can control an invisible Cloud right now?
Yeah, like, as I understand it, and please, if I'm wrong, I genuinely mean this, correct me in the comments. As I understand it, whenever there's a cutscene like this, where Cloud isn't a part of the scene, because of the way this game is programmed, he actually has to be there. And so they just make him invisible. But you have control over him, or at least it seems like in certain moments you have control over him. I don't know if it's universal, but this is one, and this is one where it leads to a huge, huge sequence break, which you can find demonstrated on ADGQ, and which is likely, well, I guess it has to be used in this year's ADGQ. I mean, they're playing it again, and it has an estimated time of 8 hours.
What the hell?
Yeah, fuck.